I'm proud of you, Jess. You've always been strong, but you're starting to see it for yourself. For the first time in months, Jessica felt truly heard, truly understood. There was no judgment, only support. You've always been there for me, Daniel. I don't know what I'd do without you. The next morning, Jessica was at her investor meeting, and it went better than she could have hoped. She outlined her business expansion plan with confidence and passion. The investors seemed impressed, and by the end of the meeting, they agreed to move forward. Jessica felt like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. This was it. She was on her way to building something real for herself. That evening, she received a message from Michael. It was simple, but it hit her like a ton of bricks. I've been thinking about everything. We need to talk. Can you meet me at the apartment? Jessica didn't want to face him, but a part of her needed to know if there was a chance for reconciliation. She had to know if she was making the right choice. She walked into Michael's apartment, her heart pounding in her chest. He was sitting on the couch, his hands folded in front of him, his face troubled. Jess, I've been selfish. I know I hurt you, and I don't expect you to forgive me, but I don't want to lose you. Jessica's chest tightened as she listened to him. Could she trust him again? Hadn't he already betrayed her by telling her to leave, then coming back like nothing had happened? But then Michael dropped a bombshell. I've been seeing someone else, Jessica. It's been going on for months. Jessica's blood ran cold. The world around her felt like it was tilting. The man she had loved for years, who she thought she could trust, had been seeing someone else. The betrayal hit her like a freight train, but she refused to let him see how much it hurt. Instead, she stood up, her voice steady. I'm done, Michael. You don't get to control me anymore. Not with your lies, not with your manipulation. She turned to leave, but Michael grabbed her arm. Please, Jess, I love you. Love? If you really loved me, you wouldn't have done this. You don't get to have it both ways. Jessica walked out of his apartment without a single tear. She was done with the lies. But as she walked down the stairs to her car, a feeling of clarity washed over her. This was the moment she had been waiting for. The moment she could finally take control of her life. As she drove to the meeting with her investor, she received a text from Evie. I'm proud of you. You're doing this for you now. She smiled, her heart full. This was the beginning of something new. Jessica's business deal was secured. She was on the path to success. But just as she thought things were falling into place, she received a call from Evie. Jess, I think you need to hear this. It's about Michael. The screen fades to black. What is it, Evie? It's not over, Jess. There's something you don't know. It was a regular Tuesday morning in Nashville when Jessica Green was at her office, reviewing marketing strategies for a new tech client. She'd worked tirelessly to build her marketing firm, and though the long hours sometimes strained her personal life, she was proud of what she'd accomplished. But today, as she stared at the glowing screen of her laptop, her phone buzzed. It was Michael Hayes, her longtime boyfriend. His name popped up on the screen, but instead of the usual warmth she'd felt when seeing his name, a knot tightened in her stomach. They'd been having problems for months. Lately, Michael seemed distant. He resented her long hours and the focus she had on growing her business. The cracks were starting to show, and she'd tried talking to him about it, only for him to brush her off, as if her success threatened him. Today felt different. She had hoped for a moment of connection, but the message Michael sent shook her to the core. Jess, I think we need a break. I want you to leave. Her heart skipped a beat. She stared at the words for a long moment. A break? Was this really happening? What do you mean, Michael? A break? It's not working, Jess. You're always too busy with your business, and I need space. She gripped the phone tighter, trying to steady her shaking hands. It felt like the floor was falling out from beneath her. She had given everything to this relationship. Fine, Michael. If that's what you want, I'll leave. The words came out sharper than she intended. There was a moment of silence on the line, followed by a soft sigh. You know this is for the best, right? Before she could respond, Michael hung up. Jessica stood motionless, the cold air of the office contrasting with the heat of the tears threatening to spill. She wasn't sure why, but she refused to let this break her. Instead of doing what Michael expected, packing her things and walking away, Jessica made a decision in that moment. She wouldn't just walk away, she would show him what she was capable of. Later that day, after her emotional conversation with Michael, Jessica reached out to Evie Larson, her best friend and co-owner of her marketing firm. Evie had always been her rock, the one person who knew how to keep Jessica grounded. Evie picked up immediately. "Hey Jess, what's going on?" "Michael. He told me to leave." Evie's voice softened with concern. "I'm so sorry, girl. I knew things had been rough, but I didn't think it was this bad." Jessica exhaled sharply. "I didn't think it was either, but now I think I'm done being the one who sacrifices everything. I'm not just going to walk away, Evie. I'm going to make my business a success. Without him." Evie paused for a moment, her words measured but firm. "That's the Jessica I know. You've always put him first, and look where that's gotten you. It's time to show everyone, and yourself, that you can do this on your own." The words lit a fire in Jessica that she hadn't felt in a while. She wasn't just going to leave Michael's apartment. She was going to build something even better than what they had. The next day, as Jessica sat at her desk, she realized this was her moment. She had an opportunity to take her business to the next level. It wasn't just about escaping Michael's grip. It was about showing herself and everyone else that she was more than just a girlfriend, more than just someone's partner. She was Jessica Green, a capable woman who had the power to change her life. She contacted a potential investor she'd been in talks with for months, a deal that could bring in the capital needed to expand her firm. It had always been a risky move, one that Michael had been against, but now she didn't have his doubts holding her back. The meeting was set for the next morning. Jessica knew she had to focus, but as she prepared for the presentation, she found herself thinking of Daniel Foster, a local journalist who had been in her life for years. Though they were just friends, Daniel had always been supportive, and Jessica couldn't deny the spark that had always existed between them. That evening, she ran into Daniel at a cafe downtown. "You look like you've been hit by a truck, Jess. Want to talk about it?" She smiled weakly. They sat down, and she told him everything about Michael, the breakup, and her plans for the future. "I've been so focused on this relationship, I forgot who I was. But now, I need to find myself again." Daniel looked at her, his expression softening.